Hello, my name is Laurel Angus. I was born at Sunday Island, but I grew up in Djarindjin. Living up the hill, then went to the dormitory, and went to school, and you know, um, well, I learned a lot of things, and like really going camping out and fishing with families, and my mom and dad, a lot of old people, showing us how to poison fish, learn bush fruits, bark, even with their language and all that. I grew up learning my language from Sunday Island to Djarindjin. I was born in the 50s, and then they 54, like 55, 54, 55, 54, 55, 56. I know I was born in a place called Laurel in the center, with the camps and all that, with the gardens and all that. Yeah.
Was there many families around?
Yeah, there's a lot of families everywhere living there.
And so, when did you guys move to Djarindjin, Lombardina?
Well, in the 50s, then late 50s, because my mom felt sick, ill, was flown to Derby, then went back to Djarindjin. Then they're there to take mom back to her family and home in Djarindjin. I remember coming up from Sunday on a boat with dad and mom, Bernadette, and we were somewhere around near one point, called Joan. The boat went in there, there was an anchorage, and we had to walk, you know, and go to Cape Lovik side. Then was walking, there was no cars or cart, donkey cart. We walked, and all along to the beach and come up the hill. And there was families and waiting, and auntie and uncle are coming down to meet us. And we stayed there, up there, till the nun came up with my cousin, but she's passed on, and took me down, me and Bernadette, to see girls, and some, like my cousin's other ones was already in the dormitory, and but I didn't like the dormitory. I wanted to go right back up the hill. And I was keep telling mom or dad, why don't we go back to Sunday Island? And like stay, yeah. But it was good, and then I got used to the dormitory, but we still didn't like it. It was like the dormitory we had to get locked up in, and there was bars all around the windows and can't thing. And at night we used to try to break the walls, and some girls used to pull the city in, and me and Ben used to crawl in and take off up the hill. So the next morning, always we was up the hill. We kept running away from the dormitory. But it was good, the dance were good,
Yeah.
and all that. Then I got used to it.
And what church did you guys attend?
Catholic church, yes. Got baptized then. When we came back from there, we got baptized here. I got baptized.
Yeah. What's the name of the church?
Christ King Church. And then later, couple of later, dad went back and picked my grandmother and my grandfather, took them back to Lombardina. Stayed up there in the 60s, came back.
Came back from where?
Sunday Island.
Ah, so they hadn't come over yet.
Yeah, I mean only in the 60s they staying up the hill then. They was living up the hill with other families. And when we first came, we didn't like living in a house or corrugated thing. We just had a bower shed with some Hessian bags for cover, and when we shut that wind, we should sleep like that. And then they should make little humpies for rain. When we should like sleeping like that. And dad and uncle was really coming, Uncle Sadie, and uncle and dad helped made helped dad to build a house, just roughly, just read from shelter, from storm and from the cold wind. But in that time when we was living, it was very cold, and sometimes the rain was very strong and wind cyclone up the hill. But we was well sheltered. We didn't think about cyclone and all that. We were got used to it. And cold when the night, at least there was fire lighting inside for warmness, and that's it. And main I used to eat only fish, turtle and dugong, and like stingrays, banam. With the old people, and they used to take us and telling us this fruit is named, this is a fruit, mai, we can eat that, and it's the name of the tree and the bush fruit. See? Even for bark, bush medicines and what barks and all that. Like for bushwood time, we have like this season, now rain time, first season, like koralgar, camelon, garbage, colma, molinge, jongon when it's cold season, thing, what they call them, range, elar, rain time, Christmas time, elar, kolai, and we used to go out and drugging fish from Banjul, but we knew about like fish drugs from Sunny Island using the elngam tree. See, elngam little plant to drug fish and all that. And then when we came here, we start to use Banjul. And another drug learning here how to drug fish is the ngom, that sea slug, that little cucumber, sea cucumber, the black one. We call it ngom. That's the one, cut them up, mix them up in sand and chuck run in the rock pools and wait till the fish get drugged. Then we can drug fish with that too.
And so what was Djarindjin like for you?
Djarindjin, then it was really good then. Getting more with the nonsense thing, learning education's really good.
Did you walk around country much?
Yes, at the time we used to go camping out with our families or sometimes with other relatives, going in all different places, camping, It was really good. And when it's especially for reefing, big tides, we was there. They showed us reef and shells and all that, crab and all that. Going out when the tide go out, we used to go and collecting mangroves, crab, or just fishing on the beach like this now, coming in for Laurel, using popper bait like crab bait, manbur and all that.
And where are we right now?
And Milligan.
Can you tell me about where we are?
This is where we're staying here. It's my grandfather's block, my mom's father and my mom's block. And it's called it's called the Elephant Point. In the time in the 60s when my auntie, my mom's sister, and her husband and uncle, they used to take all the girls for holiday from the dormitories, and they used to camp right over in the other side point, in the creek, Melongon Creek side. And we used to walk from Djarindjin all day and go to see them and walk back the same time. When sun going down, we all walk back to Djarindjin, going up the hill. when we should go, we should all let any parents know, oh, this kid can come, let's go like fishing, we're going to that place and there, and that was good then, you know. But we never learned to, like nowadays kids say, can I go camp over, sleep over with that person? It was strict for us. When kids can only just come, we can just go and sit in the fireplace with older people. When they come to night, everybody go back to their own home and sleep, no camp over. That's very strict. You know, we know that, and we can all meet up in one place in the house and sitting around the fire with older people. And when it's late, come on, let's go home. And the other kids are all right, we're going home. I'm going to all walk, you know, in all different directions, go back home. No camp over. It was strict though. Even though it was a hard time there, but it was good. Nowadays, you see fighting, grog is the main thing now, and smoke. We didn't know about all these things now. Today it's new to us, you know. Yeah, but in my time I should like only my fishing and reefing and camping out. And we grew up with big fire lighting and old people telling story. And we should like to make them to tell a story over and over, and funny stories, you know, for old people and all that. And then they should tell us who people come from that area and all that, or that's that person from place and all that.
Do you remember any of those funny stories?
Oh, yes. What is the snake mine? But I know I can't remember that. The creepers and then mangar or one sort of tree like that. There was two tribes from around this area. You know, they was telling him up the hill, and there was one woman. At that time, no man didn't like to marry him or thing. She had a lot of promise, and then man from this side, no woman didn't like to think that he had promised too, and they was both ugly. And they said, and this tribe said, all right, I know. They told that woman, we'll give you, we will find a husband for you. And they went over, and they said, oh yeah. And then they told, and how they so think, yeah, we bring this girl for his promised husband. And when the woman and say them fell in love, and from till today, if you see this clinging vine, the snake vine, he put his arms around that tree. That man didn't want that man to run away. He found his lover, fan, husband, and that's why, oh boy, and it was thing. Even though it's true, if you see that vines, just creep around, and you know, when the ugliest tree is mangat. There's no thing.
So then you went through the dormitories in Djarindjin, went
Yeah.
through school there, and then what did you do?
I went to St. Joseph Hostel and came back and started doing domestic work around Djarindjin. And the missions, the nuns was just moving out in the 70s then. The dormitory started to close. Everybody gone back, but we was already up that hill already in the 60s, living up.
And where were you doing domestic work?
Around in Djarindjin, cleaning, ironing, helping nuns. We should carry cleaning around in the kitchen and dormitories and looking after that little chicken yard.
Well, how old were you when you were doing domestic work in Djarindjin?
Or really in my no, like in the 20s, but growing up in school, we still used to do big work, 10, 11, 12, from 9-year-old, 8, we still do every one, even the boys, dormitory, girls dormitories, they got to do their bit of share, big work too. Nothing and carry, and in the convent carrying a lot of, you know, the wood, the sawmill there they're still using today. heap, everybody one log of wood, carrying it up and down to fill the nuns thing, boy. And carrying big rocks for pathways. And killing, feeding all the chooks, but at night, piled out wood up for the boiler, washing. The women used to wash our clothes and dormitory clothes and the father's habit out, and there was a lot of wood, but we used to carry them.
You then went away to school and came back.
Yeah, but
to do domestic.
yes.
And then what? So
Just stayed in Djarindjin and we got old. Riding, we used to ride donkeys and all that. And still with the fruit. But my grandfather went, or most of all people went in the 60s, but some of them still lived in the 70s. And they passed on,
And so who was at the dormitory with you?
Or there's Bernadette, or big mob of them. But most of them my age girls, when we used to grow up, passed on. There's only Gemma there left now.
Someone was telling us that lots of people came to the dormitories from Gib River and from elsewhere.
Yeah, but they went back, from Gib River, Wyndham. See, where there's smoke growing up around here.
Was that hard for them, do you think?
Or they grew up here, it wasn't hard, and then they just went back and, some of them even when they left, they even talked language, Padi. They know bush fruits and anything, look.
Yeah, so tell me how you learnt Badi.
Because my grandmother talked about my father, my mother, my auntie. Most people talk Badi. We talked as Badi Jawi, but there was Badi speaking in Sandy Island too. And I grew up, even though I'm a Jawi born and my grandfather, but we don't know Jawi. See, we didn't learn to speak Jawi at Sandy Island. We only knew that Badi. That's why we know Bad. See, that Bad was spoken in both ways at Sandy Island and back here at Djarindjin. Kain ka Bad is Kain is, yeah. But we will come with Bad from Enalang, that's island. Kain mean mainland. This is a freshwater soak. Our grandparents and they, like families, they used to live around here, close to the soak, so they can have water for drinking. And this is the Umban, this we call them. This is the main area. They used to sleep because it's got the Umban there. Umban means freshwater soak. Like people used to, when they used to sleep, camp, they used to camp always, when they used to make their camp, it's next to the soak, water, This is how my grandparents, with the kids grew up, and then we grew up drinking this water and camping up there, It was very hard.
How you used to get water on the,
They used to dig the well.
at the time when it was
Huh?
high tide or what?
Low tide like this, early hours in the morning when it's low tide, and in the afternoon, Jamalngor. Jamalngor means afternoon tide, morning tide. Then all the tide. And when before that dinner time, before the time, they used to have water.
And what they used to do before they had cup and whatever you like you doing it?
They should dig
How they used to dig that water?
with a bed. They were mainly, like I'm doing, I should be doing it thing in their way, old people, when they show woman, like flat rock. We should get flat rock and dig the water go with the rock, go round and round and round till you hit the chalk. And if a stranger come and try to, you gotta do that before he or she do that one with the rock go round and round. You gotta place your palm like that. They read it where you come from. You always put your palm strangers or anybody. Oh, you come from that place, that place. And then they decide if they're gonna give you water. But you could always dig it with the rocks go round and round and round.
Yeah, and it's fresh water on the ground.
Because the old people showed us and told us about Omban, grew up with this waters on this side in Omban, fresh water and the salt water. Now it's getting sour. Water is the main thing, and water, like Laurel, very hard to with water bottle. Well, we got water bottle. We ran out drinking water, a bottle out of water. So we got one. We can refill it again with a bottle if you know where to find the water.
How do you know where to find the water?
Huh?
How do you know where to find the water?
Where do you know where? Like sometimes you see, like this is main woman, where everybody know. When it's grass you see, but hardly any cattle. Now you can see cattle, track, or then you can see pigeons, birds hanging around. That's the soak. The water is there. Birds.
And where do you know where to dig?
You can see by the smell. You can when you came in, you can smell that woman already. You can smell that more than the salt water already. You can smell that it's there. The smell of it. Yeah, when we all used to come, they should come down when the tide was out. Clock water, all the people were still there, lighting fire and all that, waiting for fresh water. And we used to come up with buckets of pail of water, and plastic buckets and things, and going up and down. Delivering water. It's supposed to be like this now.
How big was the dig that hole?
Yeah, more bigger than this. It should be something like this size and thing. So, and check where all this got all water there till it got it right down. But you're not allowed to let the other salt come in, you gotta just clean it out. Yeah, we can't do much now. No water coming out for us. And see how I'm digging this water here with this black part and the water is underneath. That's the rumba now. All this part when you see mud like this, and you can smell it. The mud is the ngeel, we say. And you can tell by the mud. And then you can smell the mud mixed with that thing and the fresh water, that soak. Mixed with salt and fresh. And as we was coming and you can smell that woman already, the fresh water and that mud. See?
What did your parents and your family teach you about your country and your culture?
Like they taught us a lot of things, what they do, like fishing and all that, and you know, and then the main thing is to always respect yourself and you respect others, respect your culture.